So welcome back to another episode, and there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about in this episode today, and I've decided to put it all together into one thing. I want to talk about Sony's State of Play, I want to talk about Link's Awakening, and I have a very special item down here to show you that showed up about an hour ago, and I cannot believe I got this and that it exists. This is crazy. I also want to talk about the Nintendo Switch Lite once again, the Genesis Mini once again. I have things to add to all of these, and also the Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy VII pack has been revealed for the Nintendo Switch, and you could probably import this because there is English in there. We're going to start at the beginning, and this Tuesday is the State of Play by Sony. It's kind of like their Nintendo Direct, but after watching the very first one, it sure is not as good as a Nintendo Direct, that's for sure. I was very disappointed with it. I was like, oh my god, this is the games they were announcing. There was nothing really big. There was nothing earth-shattering. I remember they showed Iron Man, and I was like, okay. And I was waiting for something really exciting, and I hope this Tuesday, I'll do a video on it, that they have something really cool to add. Obviously, The Last of Us Part 2 will be shown, and maybe a release date. It's really interesting with Sony right now because it's a very, very quiet time. Obviously, games are still coming on to the PlayStation 4, but Sony as a first party has really quietened down. Obviously, we're getting Death Stranding in November. Can't wait for that sort of thing. But everything else is kind of like slowed down. And you can just tell they're getting ready for the PlayStation 5. They're doing that transition. It happens with every console to the next console generation. There's always that moment where you're like, they're working on the next console. They're getting ready for it. Where certain things that will come out on the current console may be ported and get a bigger, higher resolution, more frame rate version on the PlayStation 5. So I'm looking forward to the State of Play. I don't know if we're going to get any PlayStation 5 news in there. I would really like it if they did, to make the State of Play a real thing rather than just kind of a bit of a slideshow video right now, because that's what it feels like, with no real surprises or shocks. Now, okay, we're going to get into this. It's the Link's Awakening weekend, and there's so many of you out there that are playing the game and hopefully enjoying it. I think it is a super charming, incredibly nostalgic game for myself, from my youth, and I'm so happy to see it remade again. So I got a knock on my door twice today. The first one was I got a little thing here from Best Buy, and you know what it is. I'm already saying what it is. It is the Amiibo. Finally showed up. I ordered this from Best Buy maybe about 3 months ago, and here it is, and it showed up, and I'm like, how charming. Honestly, I'm out of the Amiibo game these days, but this, every once in a while, they pull me back in, and they pulled me back in with this, because Link is just, I don't use this word too often. He looks very cute, and he looks really awesome here, and I just absolutely love it. He has to go up with my Ness Amiibo, my Lucas Amiibo, because those are the only Amiibos I have these days. I gotta stay out of the Amiibo collecting gig because it's all-encompassing and it's ridiculous. So, very happy to get that. I buy, as I say, maybe an Amiibo once a year now. Okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? I feel like Captain Freedom from The Running Man. Are you ready for this? This is crazy. This is crazy that this showed up from Nintendo. I had no idea. This box showed up, and the FedEx guy was the second knock on the door today. And I answered the door, and he gives me this box, and I'm like, what is this? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, it's from Nintendo. So I already opened this huge box to reveal this. And I'm going to show you this. And this is a promo item that got sent over here. I am in awe. I'm in awe. I'm not worthy. I was doing one of those from Wayne's World. Are you ready for this? Look at this. The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. It's got writing on the side here. Relive the classic story on September 20th, 2019. Says the same thing here. Got Link here. Shall we do it? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Can you believe that? I mean, I got this and I'm like, what is this? And I just thought it was like a box celebrating the launch, and I didn't realize that when I opened it up, this would play from the game. Wow. I mean, I have been taken back a few times in my life by certain items that arrived for the show, and this is an item that I honestly was speechless. I was speechless because I know you know this. I've said it. I've done art on it. I've done so many episodes on this video game already. But this has been my most anticipated game of the year. And to get an item like this, honestly, has hit me in all the feels. It really has. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe this showed up. So I want to thank Nintendo for sending this over. It's truly gone to a home that really, really appreciates it. So definitely big thanks there. And yeah, I just got to get into the Nintendo Switch Lite here. And so Kim has been playing it. Kim has been trying it out. And she said, oh my God, I love the screen. And she said the same thing. It's so very solid. It feels, it is a handheld. I know I keep saying that piece over and over and over again, but that's got to sink in. It is a full-on handheld. Where the one thing that I had to do was get a carrying case, and I found one online that I thought, this is good, and I ordered it from Amazon. It should be here tomorrow as of filming this video, and I thought, this is great because there's no dock to put it in, right? So it's just kind of on its own, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to scratch the screen or anything like that. I also want to say I filled this thing up to capacity. It's got like 25 gigs in here of games that I've already downloaded. Let's see what I got on here. Yeah, somebody said to me on Twitter, I bet the first game Johnny puts on this is Phantasy Star 1. And you know it. It is. Phantasy Star 1 had to be put on here. First of all, I'm going to transfer my save over later on. But look at that. Look at this. Isn't this wonderful? Oh man, it's really great. What a great little portable machine. Let me say something about the Nintendo Switch Lite. It's growing on me. I liked it to begin with, but now I'm really... Now that, you know, the hype of unboxing it and showing the world it and talking about it, now it's just kind of for me in that I can just play it and have a good time. I was playing the Ninja Saviors on this, and I was having a lot of fun playing that. So how many of you guys went out and picked up one of these, and did it live up to your expectations? And also, did Link's Awakening, how are you enjoying that game? I really absolutely want to know. So the next thing I want to talk about, this is Japan only, this is not a North American release, not yet. Has been revealed that there's going to be a Final Fantasy 7 and 8 pack together. So both of those games are going to be packaged together, and you can buy a physical copy for the Nintendo Switch. And I'm like, oh my God, that's great. But it got me scratching my head, and I'm going to say a couple of things here. Where's Final Fantasy 9, right? Where's Final Fantasy 9? Wouldn't it be smart to do 7, 8, and 9 all together? That would make sense, right? I'm wondering, and this is pure speculation, letting you know that, pure speculation. Are they going to do that for the North American market? Are they going to release 7, 8, and 9 all on one cart? Wouldn't that be an amazing thing? So, knowing me, I am going to pre-order 7 and 8 to have a physical copy on the Switch, because that would be great. But is there going to be a triple pack in the future? Wouldn't that be interesting? I don't know. I'm not saying that it exists or I've heard anything, but that would be super awesome. So, speculation on my part. Okay, we're down to the last little bit of the video. And it is the Sega Genesis weekend as well, the Sega Genesis Mini weekend. And I think a lot of people playing it and all that. I also want to say a few things, is that a few revelations have come out since the machine has launched. Now, when I originally reviewed this, I played all the games and I thought it was great. I didn't see any issues with anything. I thought M2 did a really great job. I had a really good time with it. In fact, I hooked it up I think it was maybe around 2 weeks ago with my wife, and we played it all night, and we had a real good laugh, playing some of those old games, and it was really good times. And I never noticed anything unusual with mine, and mine is an early unit that was sent out for reviewers. So, and but then there was a lot of reviewers that got early copies as well that were saying that there was input lag and there was sound lag and stuff like that, and I didn't come across that. So a lot of people were questioning me, saying, Johnny, are you just being nice on it? What happened? I honestly didn't see or hear of any of those things in my copy. So the funny thing is, and I'm not saying those guys didn't see it. I know those guys well. They're friends of mine. That they saw some of these issues, and they highlighted them in their videos. Since the game, the machine has launched, a lot of people are playing it and are saying none of those, nuances are in their thing. So I don't know if some people got early review copies that had some issues with them or something like that. I can say for mine, I did not. So, the end of the day, it really sucks for some of the early reviewers that had some of those issues with their unit. The great thing is, though, that come launch now, that those things seem to be ironed out, that are no longer in any of the launch units. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. So I can go back to saying, I really like this machine. And I've got to say something. That is very funny to me. I'm the first to laugh at myself more than anybody. And I did an unboxing of the accessory tower with this. And I drove some people crazy because I didn't take off this thing right here, the expansion bay. And I'm having a hard time with it now. There we go. The expansion bay, and hook it up to the Sega CD properly. People were very, they were going crazy in the comments. And do you know what happened is, I'm explaining from my point of view, is that I had never unboxed it. I didn't know what it was. So I'm piecing it together, and I'm looking at the camera, and I'm looking at the screen behind me, and I'm trying to keep the dialogue going while I'm keeping it together. And I'm thinking to myself, it's not quite together, but I'm like, I think that the accessories, and I'm going to bring them up here, are just like, these are just add-ons. None of these are working units in any regard. So I don't think that they maybe fit properly. That's what I thought. And then after the video, I kind of had a look and I checked out the expansion bay, and I'm like, oh, right. The funny thing is when I got my review unit, I saw the expansion bay right here, and I was like, what is even the point of that? Because it's not for anything. And I was like, what a weird inclusion. I'm like, man, they're really being anal with this unit to try to get it authentic. And obviously, it hooks up right here into that perfectly. Hurrah! Hurrah, hurrah for Harambe. And this thing goes on top right here. And I got one more thing to show that came with the accessories, and I didn't highlight it because I was so busy that week, but I want to show you. I got a copy of Echo, the dolphin, right here. So I can pop that in the top and play some of that. So, very cool. A lot of people are frustrated that this is not available for North American release, but you know what? You can import it from Japan. That's what I found out, and it is a really fun novelty unit and all that. That's another thing I want to mention. You can get cartridges from Japan. So in Japan, you can buy packets of cartridges. So I could get like Streets of Rage on there, or Phantasy Star to plug in the top. So that makes it really cool. So I'm going to be looking for some of those cartridges. That is for sure. So you know what? It's been a busy week. There's been so much going on. The Nintendo Switch Lite, Link's Awakening, the Sega Genesis Mini. I mean, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to soak in. And I'm hoping that this weekend, everybody is just having a really good time playing games. You know what I mean? Just enjoying this great space that we all live within. It is so wonderful. It is so much fun. And you know what? It's going to be a very, very busy Christmas. But this September has been off the charts. It's been off the charts. I've had a fun time keeping up with everything. That is for sure. So anyways, guys, until next time.